You're going to need to hear this directly from today's guest in order to believe this.
What was your best month financially? How much money did you make?
My best month thus far has been $138,000.
138 for the year or 138 during 30 days?
During a 30-day window.
During a 30-day window.
Yes.
Now, before we hop into today's show, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's jump to the video.
All right, Jazzy, I want to ask this question up front. How much money did you make? Here it is. What was your best month financially? How much money did you make?
My best month thus far has been $138,000.
$138,000 you made. Okay, so I'm asking the question one more time.
Okay.
138 for the year or 138 during 30 days?
During a 30-day window.
During a 30-day window?
Yes.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. God is good. God is good.
All the time, man.
Yes, all the time. God is amazing.
All right, let's go back over here. All right,
Okay.
so you made your best month was $138,000. I'm
Right.
curious to ask this question.
Okay.
What's been your worst month in the last year?
32,000. That was when you.
Your makeup artist looking at you like, dang, that's her worst month.
32,000 probably worse.
Your makeup artist was looking at you like, what is this number? I never asked you this. She was like, wait, $32,000 is your worst month?
You're making me think. Like I didn't even think about it.
Yo, so let's talk about it. You're building a personal brand.
Yeah.
And how do you feel as a young millennial black woman making, okay, worst month, $32,000, best month, 100-something thousand, means you're averaging anywhere between $75,000 to $100,000 a month. How do you feel as a black woman in today's day and time making that kind of money?
I feel like I'm my ancestors' wildest dreams. I sincerely feel like all the stories my mom has told me, my grandmother has told me, just about how they had to put their dreams to bed because of racism or sexism or classism. I feel like everything that I do is it's like paying homage to them. So I just feel blessed. Like, you know, I feel like they struggled and they sacrificed, and I just feel like I'm the product of that sacrifice.
You know, and I love that because, you know, one of my missions this year has been my brand is big on helping people get out of debt.
Right.
Right? And building wealth. And for years, I spent a lot of time teaching people solely just how to get out of debt.
Right.
Using my mentors, 7 Baby Steps, Dave Ramsey, right? And as I've been doing, I'm like, man, what I hear from people who look like you and I, it's like, hey, I hear you, but I need more income.
Right.
So I can attack that.
Yeah, for sure.
So how can I do that? So I started coming up with different ways. I was like, man, now I'm teaching people how to build a personal brand, how they can make an extra $1,000 to $5,000 a month that can eventually turn into 6 figures, 7 figures.
Right.
And you're doing that on YouTube.
Yes.
How long have you honestly been on YouTube?
So I've been on YouTube since January 2021. I did not become monetized until August 2021. So I've technically only been monetized a little over a year.
A year?
On YouTube,
and you making money like that?
Yeah, God is amazing.
Okay, let's go back, Jazzy. What were you doing before YouTube?
Prior to YouTube, I was working in IT.
Okay.
So my background, I have multiple layers to my background. I worked in IT, worked as a consultant for Fortune 500 companies, worked as an engineer.
Wow.
Project management, fintech, cybersecurity.
Wait, hold on, pause.
So I'm a girl nerd.
That's what I was about to say.
By nature.
So wait, technically, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were in the tech field.
Oh yeah, heavy for 10 years, yeah.
Yo, I didn't know this. I just knew that you built a personal brand, but I didn't know beforehand you was in tech.
Yeah.
This is God, Jazz. Because all I'm telling people this year is the 2 best fields to get into is tech and personal brand.
Oh, listen.
And look at you.
Tech will get you there.
How much money were you making in tech?
My very, very first job in tech was $32,000 a year.
Okay.
The last job I had in tech was working for Amazon corporate. The base salary for that job was $124,000. And then I got a sign-on bonus. The sign-on bonus was $55,000 for the first 2 years, and then our issues.
Come on. Jazz. Yo, you about to be my sister for real. Hey, husband. Brother, she is happily married with children. Bruh, y'all about to be fam for real. I did not know this. So you were in tech, making good money in tech.
Yeah.
You was making 6 figures in tech.
Right.
Where did the shift come from to where you was like, you know what, I love tech. I appreciate what tech has brought into my life.
Right.
You know, pause. What was your husband doing before joining you in the business scene? Like, was he in tech as well?
Yeah.
So y'all a tech family.
Yeah. My husband's a software engineer.
Oh, he was making bang.
Yeah.
That's why you liked him, huh?
No, when we
let's
first
be
met,
real,
he was only
Jazz.
making maybe $44,000.
But you saw where he can go.
Yeah, I saw his potential. He saw mine. So he was like, I'm a
They were like,
girl.
yo, I know where you going. You see
Yeah.
where I'm going. Let's make this happen.
Yeah, so yeah, it worked out.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so what made you wake up and be like, you know what? I love tech. I love what it's done for our family, but I want to go the personal brand YouTube route.
Well, I think when you are working in tech, especially as like an engineer, you're already this unicorn.
Okay.
And sometimes that's good because then you get exposed to a lot of different opportunities being this black female engineer and stuff like that. But sometimes you're a unicorn and you get exposure and you have all these eyes on you.
Okay.
So when I released that first YouTube video, I was pregnant.
Okay.
I had a whole lot of people wanting help with their credit, you know, wanting to know how to improve their credit, how to buy a home. Although all of those were things that I had experience with. So I remember I released the first YouTube video, and then someone from Acorns reached out to me and said, hey, we want to publish an article about you. You know, we saw the YouTube video, we want to publish an article. So they published an article, and it was a widely spread article. And someone from my HR department, when I was, before I went to Amazon, I was working for DocuSign.
Okay.
And someone reached out from HR and said, hey, we've come across this article that features you, and we just need to know more information about your outside activities.
What?
And I said, my outside activities, and you know, it was really, really strange to me that they were so concerned about what I was posting on YouTube because there was no conflict of interest.
Right.
And that rubbed me the wrong way because at the time I was the only black female in my department.
No,
that
are you
happens all the
serious?
time.
Come on now.
But I was the only black female in my department, but I wasn't the only person that was doing, you know, things like YouTube or that might have had a business. And so I said, I don't understand what the interest is in, you know, what I'm doing is providing education to underserved communities.
Yeah.
You should be praising what I'm doing. You should be proud that you have someone working for your company that's working to serve these underprivileged communities. And so at that moment, I told my husband, I said, if they're not going to let me talk to my community about how to get out of debt, about how to improve your credit, about how to buy a home. These things don't threaten your business, but if you're not going to let me speak freely to my community, I got to plan my exit strategy. So for me, that was the beginning of the end. That was what catapulted me into saying, I can't do this no matter how good the money is. I'm not going to let someone tell me what I can say to my community and what I can't say to my community.
Yo, real quick, you guys, are you looking to change your career here in the year of 2023? If so, look no further than Bethel School of Technology, the only Christian online tech boot camp in the world. According to a recent report, black people make up just about 4% of the U.S. technology workforce. But you see, at Bethel Tech, who I partner with for this year, they believe that all people, including us black people, should have access to the lucrative and fulfilling opportunities in the tech industry. Now, with their 9-month program, you'll gain the essential skills you need to start a successful career in technology. And let's not forget the earning potential. You see, according to Indeed, the average salary of a software developer in the U.S. is around $103,000. Say what? You know, you can choose from programs like the cybersecurity and UI UX design and launch your tech tech career or even a tech business ignited with passion and purpose. So listen, we're going to skip the debt and we're going to invest into yourself for just 9 months that can change the next 9 years of your life. All you got to do is join Bethel Tech today to achieve your career aspirations. Visit anthonyoneal.com/Bethel or click the link in today's show notes today so you can register and start a new journey of your life. Now, you know what? Let's get back to the show because this is a good one today. Let's keep it a buck. So I got to ask you a question. Did they ever say, like, hey, we don't want you doing this, or did they just make you feel uncomfortable with all the questions?
Well, when they were reaching out to me, I was on maternity leave.
You was on you weren't even in the building?
I wasn't even in the building. So they interrupted my maternity leave to say, hey, we've got some concerns about this article that you were published in, and we need to, you need to grant us, we need to grant you full approval to do these things.
What?
And I said, this is me talking to the community. It's not your competitor. And so at that point, I started to feel like I was being controlled. So for me, that was the beginning of the end. And that is when I said, okay, if I'm going to leave this job, I got to make sure that I can leave and support myself, of course, with my husband's help. But that's when we really went hard into the business saying, okay, what can we do to really supplement our income? Because at that point, my husband was offended.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just kind of like, we've both experienced these microaggressions and, over the course of our tech careers. So he was having issues at his job where he was starting to feel targeted.
Wow.
So, eventually I settled out of court with that company.
You
I
did?
Can legally say that.
You also,
Yes.
it actually ended up going to court, and y'all settled outside of court.
They opted to settle.
Wow. I think my problem is that it even had to go there.
Right.
That let's go back. That you even had to get a phone call
During my maternity
during
leave.
your maternity leave.
Yeah.
When you're simply trying to help educate your people.
Yeah.
And I say this respectfully, because I got to say it respectfully. That's why I'm very big on people of color starting a personal brand, starting a business so you can have ownership.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's not really just ownership of a business, but ownership of whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Ownership of your time, ownership of the route you want to go, the direction you want to go, ownership to do what God told you to do without asking permission to do it.
Right.
And I think at every level, like there is a level to where you need to have a job.
Oh, yeah.
Because you
for
can't
sure.
be a business owner and have other employees and know how to treat your team members if you've never been a team member before.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I'm very, very, very big on like, hey, no, all of us need to work a job for a few years, for a season to learn a lot of things.
Right.
But as we're learning, what are you doing to work on for your exit strategy?
For sure.
I'm curious, how long was your exit strategy? How long did you work it before you were able to leave and start your own thing?
It was right at about 3 months. Yeah.
I mean, from that phone call, 3 months later, you were gone.
Because you have to understand, like, most of the companies I've worked for are in Silicon Valley. Ironically, I'm with Silicon Valley Bank, right? So,
Ironically, Silicon Valley got shut down.
Listen, you better be careful how you treat
let me be
black
quiet.
people.
I don't want to get sued. Nobody. I know, but hold up, wait a minute. So, wow.
Yeah, so this was, years of experiencing these microaggressions and having to just feel like I had to silence myself in order to play nice and to make people feel good. And I said, at this point, I'm tired of shrinking myself so that you feel better, so that you don't become intimidated. A lot of people have all of these diversity and inclusion initiatives that we're pushing. But then we look at what happened with George Floyd, and now where we are in 2023,
Come on now.
a lot of this has just been lip service.
Yep.
So if you were really for the culture and if you were really here to support diversity efforts, me talking to my community should have never been you should have never brought it up. Why would that be something you would interrupt me with? So I knew I had to get out.
Yeah.
At the time, I was also, and they had just cut my pay, like maybe a couple months before that, cut it by 20%. So you've already cut my pay.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to cut another form of income, the YouTube. And so at this point, you're controlling my finances. Ooh. So I picked up another job at Amazon, and Amazon they were great.
Yeah.
Amazon corporate was absolutely great. They sent me maternity gifts, when I had the baby and all that sort of stuff. But, like I was making a much higher salary. They were happy about the stuff that I was telling my community. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I knew like at some point I was going to be done with everybody.
Yeah.
So that I could go into my own business.
Come on.
And that's how we got to
where you are now.
Yeah.
And your husband works with you full time now?
Yes.
So when did he join your team?
So we both resigned. We pretty much both ended our technical careers the same day, which would have been, I think it was April 30th, 2022.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And now so what does he do within the business? So you're the face of the business.
Right.
So what does he do with the business?
So he is our brand manager. He's also the CFO. So he handles all of the finances. He does the negotiations.
That's good.
He does a lot of the outreach. And he also manages our production team.
That's so good.
He's good with graphic design, audio and visual. And I was like, at this point, you shouldn't be doing that stuff. You need to outsource it. So he manages
those people.
A lot of different, employees that we have.
Come on now. Well, let's give the people some practical steps that I believe will help them out. A lot of people see you, they see myself, and they see everyone else like getting all these views and really get into the digital space. Mm-hmm. And I want to know, I'm curious from your end of the things, what is one simple step the person can do to start a personal brand or digital step?
I think you have to define what you're good at.
Okay.
Because if you can explain what you're good at, you can make money from it. Whether it could be baking, it can be selling T-shirts, it could be even babysitting. Because some nannies make 6 figures. Some of them make 7 figures.
Absolutely.
So if you wrote a book on how to be a nanny, how to get a job as a nanny, that's money. But people look at it like, oh, I'm just a nanny. No, you can make money from teaching other people how to be a nanny or teaching other people how to cook.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of money in just being able to articulate what you do well.
Yeah, man, you talking good. I know of a nanny right now that does about $250,000 a year.
Easy.
She will not leave this family. And I'm like, she's like, why?
Yeah.
And I was like, why? I said, I love it. And so what I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, how many other people knew, or how many other people, proper grammar, know you can make $250,000 being a nanny? Mm-hmm. Now, is that common in the nanny world? No. But nannies, because you're dealing with someone's kids, you get paid well.
Extremely well.
But I think at the same time, if you can learn, one, how to negotiate your salary, how to negotiate your income, and maybe how to add certain things to you that doesn't cost you more money to make you more attractive and more appealing, right? It'll get you more money. So if we have a nanny who's making $250,000 doing a YouTube channel or doing a podcast or doing a course on how to become a nanny, a profitable nanny, I guarantee you she will have a whole bunch of college students right now.
Oh, for sure.
Watching her YouTube channel, watching her and taking her course. Why? Because college kids are looking for extra ways to do makeup. I was just telling my makeup to do that, be a nanny.
Money.
I was telling your makeup artist she needs to start a YouTube channel or a course, a personal brand on makeup. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like,
pay big money for that.
Who are looking up? People are looking on YouTube. How to do makeup? How to do this? How to style this? How to do that? I've looked up on YouTube. Literally, I'm doing shows. TV shows where you got to come makeup ready. I'm like, makeup ready? How do I put up my own makeup? I'm
As
a man.
You're like, how would I do makeup?
So I'm YouTubing like how to put on makeup as a man. And there is no one out there because a lot of this stuff is out there for women.
Yeah.
So it's like if she came in and did a platform of, hey, ladies in here, men, here's why you should put on makeup. Because a lot of men
about that.
don't think they should. And it's like, for me, I may pay her just to send me some makeup back because I even think on this show, up underneath all this light and stuff, I need to have on some layer of light or just a little bit layer of makeup.
A little powder.
Just a little powder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that way it's easier on the camera, it's easier on the people. But I'm like, whatever you do, you can make money.
Yes.
Digitally off.
From what you know. Yes.
Studies are showing nearly right now, currently in the year 2023, that nearly 70% of people live in paycheck to paycheck. When you dive deeper into the study reveals that out of that 70%, a large portion of those are people who make over 6 figures. These are people who are living paycheck to paycheck because of inflation, because of job loss. But a lot of people saying, man, we have an income problem. And here's the truth. We don't really have an income problem. We have a lack of utilizing our gifts and skills problem. You have the skills, you have the talents that God put on the inside of you. And I want to ask you this question. I want to be very honest. Are you utilizing them correctly? Or are you just going to work, getting that check, coming home, and not really utilizing your gifts and skills to build wealth, to pay off debt? Well, listen, I am hosting a 100% free masterclass here with the next few days, and I'm teaching people how to build a personal brand, how to use the gifts and the skills that God put on the inside of you and turn that into an extra $1,000 to $5,000 a month to go towards paying off debt, to go towards, building an emergency fund, to go towards building your dream home. But I'm gonna go even a step further. What if you can use the same principles I'm gonna be teaching for free? You make an extra $1,000 to $5,000, but what happens if you could turn it into a 6-figure income or maybe a 7-figure income within the next couple of years? Well, if you are ready to take control of your money, if you're ready to utilize the gifts and the skills God has given you to build a legacy, to build wealth for yourself, can you meet me? I want you to go to anthonyoneal.com/save my seat. Again, that is anthonyoneal.com/save my seat. Or you can click the link in today's show notes. It's 100% free. Come join me. Let me show you how we, my team and I, built a 7-figure brand and how we can put $1,000 in your pocket for the next 30 to 60 days. I'll see you soon.
And it's just a mental thing, because I think we've been sort of trained to think that we either got to have a whole lot of education, we got to have a whole lot of people in our network.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you just got to have the belief in yourself that you can explain what you do and make money from it. Like, think about the stuff you buy on Amazon. 90% of stuff, you don't need it.
Yeah.
But you bought it because somebody did a good job of putting up an image of it and making you think you need it.
Come on.
I got boxes to this day I ain't opened. I'm like, why I bought this stuff?
Yeah, I think there was a box on my front door I haven't even opened. I saw it out there for like 2 days. I was like, I don't.
Right, and you forgot what's in there.
I don't know what I ordered.
Yeah.
You know? So, but but here's the thing that I love, and this is one of the reasons why I invited you on my show, is because you're not just on YouTube to entertain people. You're on YouTube providing education, and literally you're solving a problem for people.
Right.
And that's one thing about my personal brand. We have a group called the Impact Creator Society, right? And we are teaching them, hey, we don't want you to be an influencer.
Right.
We want you to be an impactful creator. And every video, you're teaching people how to get a $21 an hour job, how to get a $50 an hour job, how to make an extra $5,000 in a week. Like, you're literally bringing solutions to people's problems.
Right.
And I'm curious because it's like, wow, you're over 300,000 subscribers, right?
Yeah.
And you've only been on YouTube for a year and some change? Well, not 2 years and some change now.
Yeah, right at 2 years, yeah.
2 years, over 300,000 subscribers.
And I got the last 200,000 in the last 90 days.
In the last 90 days?
Yeah.
What was the strategy to that?
Oh, man. Listen, I had a conversation I have a YouTube partner manager.
Okay.
So when you get a certain number of subscribers, they give you an account manager.
Yeah.
And we looked at our stats, and she said, did you know in the last 90 days you've done almost 200,000 additional subscribers?
Yeah.
And I think I just attribute it to, you have to know what people are struggling with. And I make videos that help people get out the struggle.
Come on.
So as people are sitting here watching the news, getting depressed about all of these tech layoffs, That's fine, because Jazzy got you covered. I
Yeah.
know you just lost the job, but let me show you how to get
Come
connected.
on, Jazz.
So let me pull you out of this pit that you may be in. And even if it's, it doesn't always have to be a 6-figure job.
Come on.
Because a lot of us don't need a 6-figure job. Some people
Facts.
we just need $20.
We need a job.
We just need a job. We just need
Job.
something.
For real.
And I just make those videos, and I ask people in the comments all the time, what type of stuff are you struggling with? What type of stuff do you need help with? What can I make a video on? At the end of the day, I'm like, I wish somebody would have asked me those questions when I was
Yes.
going through my struggles.
Yes.
But I didn't have anybody to ask. I was surrounded by a whole bunch of white men that could probably care less. Some of them were good. I don't want to make all white men bad.
No,
Some of them
not
very
all of them are bad.
helpful.
But I
No.
mean, I think at the same time, I can respectfully say this. I think white people sometimes should be quiet and learn and genuinely learn the black culture.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they need to be perfect, they need to say all the right things, but I think sometimes white people feel as if they know it all
Right. And they know what's best for
and they
us.
know what's best.
Yeah.
And they do not know what's best.
No.
But then let me flip it like this too. We don't know the white world too.
Right.
And I had to shut up and learn the white world.
Right.
Because the white people said something like, I thought, like this statement right here. Some people don't even know this. Some people may even get upset when I say this. But the word redneck is not a racist term.
No, it's not.
I thought it was a racist term coming from South Carolina.
Yeah.
You say redneck, we thinking you KKK. we thinking
Right.
you coming
For
us.
Yeah.
And I heard my friend Dave Ramsey say he's a redneck. I said, what the hell?
It's like a personality type of anything. It's
It is.
not
It's not.
I'm a KKK.
Exactly. But my first thought, I was like, oh, heck no.
Right.
This man is I'm like, what? And he wasn't, it's just a country boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They like
Chewing
their
on
trucks
tobacco,
and stuff.
on the
Yeah.
trucks out there. And I'm
Right.
like, because what flipped me was we had another personality who was black. And he said, yeah, he a redneck. I said, I said, what?
Right.
I said, no. But I think sometimes on both sides, and I'll say this, and I may get in trouble for saying it. Well, they can't get in trouble. I own this. I think more than anything, I do believe white people need to learn and listen a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know,
I
because
would
it's
agree.
like we've always had to listen to white people.
Oh, absolutely. We've always had to adjust ourselves.
Exactly. We've always had to do that. They've never had to be quiet
No.
and ask us a question and learn from us.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes they look at us and like, no, I need you to respectfully shut up
Yeah.
and just listen to my heart
Yeah.
and put yourself into my shoes and let's walk this journey together.
Absolutely.
And thankfully, I have had some white friends and some white team members that have done that with me. But I can definitely say a lot of them haven't.
Yeah.
And I had some white friends say, why are you trying to make black content for black people?
They can see that as some of them think that's being racist.
Yeah.
Because we're uplifting one demographic. And it's like we're not,
I'm not saying they're better. I'm just
we're
saying
just leveling the playing field
Exactly.
a little bit.
I'm tired of seeing white wealth is at $166,000 average when a black person's wealth is at $16,000.
Yeah.
And why is that
declining.
there? Exactly. I'm like, I just want to help us, get us the information, get people in front of Jazzy, get people in front of me, get people in front of Earn Your Leisure, and let's show them how we can elevate our income.
Absolutely.
And it is not that I'm saying, well, I am saying black people, we the bomb.
We pretty dope.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I do believe that black people are some of the most creative people in the world.
We have to be.
But we don't own our creativity.
We don't. We're not taught to own it.
Come on. And that's why I am like, hey, I want to teach personal brand ownership.
Yeah.
And that's why you're on the show.
Right.
I got to ask you this question because as a successful black woman, strong black woman, how do you balance working and still being a great wife? You know what I'm saying? Like you building something. In 2 years, you've built, you're building a multiple 7-figure business.
Yeah.
With you and your husband. How many kids do you have again?
We have one son.
One son. How old is your son?
He is 18 months.
18 months.
Yeah.
So it was like, how do you balance, okay, you see all this money coming in, but you still got a husband you got to take care of. He's still like, baby girl.
Right.
Don't forget about me now. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you balance Or I don't really believe in the term balance. I like priorities. But like, what's your science on being now an entrepreneur, a business owner, a wife, a mother, a friend?
Right.
Like, how do you balance all that?
Like you said, I think balance is more of it's a vanity term. We assume that we will give equal amounts of hours to work, to kids, to friends, to whatever other side projects, and that's just not realistic.
Yeah.
Because I feel like our life is very dynamic.
Okay.
It changes.
Okay.
And so if you're the type of person that has to dedicate the same amount of time to everything, then what you're actually doing is switch tasking.
Yeah.
Switch tasking is a time-wasting thing that we do when we think we're getting more stuff done. So that's why you have people that'll clean up the house, and then they'll also do other things while they're cleaning up. Then they'll surf on the internet for a little bit, and really they're not getting anything done. They're just switching the things that they do. So we have focus weeks.
You and your husband?
Yeah, we'll do focus weeks.
Okay.
Where sometimes that week is just all about work. We're not doing a date night. We're not seeing friends.
For
We're not
real?
talking to anybody on the phone. It is literally I'm gonna go get my makeup done. That's gonna be the only social hour I'm gonna get for that week. Because I'll talk to my friend and it's like, now I'm back at it. Now we're back at it. And I think that for us, what helps is having help and admitting that we needed help. Because like there's this persona of being a strong Black woman where you have to do everything. And it's like if I'm running a business, if I'm raising a child, if I'm doing all the things, you're not gonna get dinner every night.
That's true.
You probably ain't gonna get it this month. Not a home cooked meal.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
If you want, look at this money that
Now-
we're making. Like,
now-
would you want to trade it for a home cooked meal?
Now, Jazzy, now you know my show. You know my show now. You know I keep it 100 now.
I know you
Husband,
do.
I don't mean no offense to this question I'm about to ask. I can go without eating a meal, but a nighttime, I can't go without that.
But that's when husband cooks the meal. Because when you try to assume these gender roles where
I
a
got you.
woman is expected to do everything, that's
I
when
can
you
cook.
fall short.
But can I still get some love throughout the month?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, that's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
I'll cook all day
Now,
long,
if he
baby.
wants me to cook, I'm just the
No,
type
no,
of
no,
person
no.
you're gonna have to put it on the calendar. You're not gonna get it every single night. So, babe, what you want next Wednesday? Okay, I got you. I got you. I'm gonna cook that shrimp parmesan that you love.
Hey, she's like, hey, we'll put that on the calendar this month.
Yes, because I know I gotta prepare for that.
Yo, I ain't mad
Unless
at
you want a cheap like pizza or something that I just throw in
But
there.
the way you're going, though, and the route that you're going, I won't be surprised pretty much soon if you just hire a chef to come and cook for y'all during that season.
Like we're talking about it. We do sometimes get prepared meals delivered to us.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we have a nanny.
Okay.
So
Live-in nanny or just nanny comes in and out?
she comes in and out.
Okay.
She has spent the night. She does spend the night sometimes.
Okay.
But I think we have to get over this shame of if I ask for help, I'm weak.
Come
If I
on.
ask for help, I'm not a good mom.
Facts.
And I feel like I started out that way because I would feel guilty asking my husband to do anything for me. Like, even if it was, hey, can you watch the baby while I take a shower? He's like, I'm his dad.
Yeah.
You don't have to ask me
Right.
to do this stuff. Like, it's not a burden to do this for my son.
Wow.
But I had a whole lot of mom guilt because I saw my mom do it on her own. My mom raised 6 kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I should be able to work a full-time job, cook meals, take care of the baby. I should do all of this, right? And he was like, no.
Jazzy, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Jazzy. Let me tell you something. You're needed. Like,
Am I?
Yeah, what you and your husband are doing, you all are needed in the culture.
I appreciate that.
We need to see what a healthy relationship can build in a Black community. And we need to hear that, hey, you know what? There's going to be some months I'm not going to cook for my husband.
No.
And my husband is okay with that.
Yeah.
Because it's a part of the strategy of where we're going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There may be some weeks that I may not see my friends.
Right.
And my friends are okay with that. And if they're not okay with that, then they're just not a part of the strategy.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And I think for me, what I hear you saying is me and my husband, we have a vision. and we're putting a strategy together to accomplish that vision because we're trying to focus on a legacy for our son who we have and the other kids we may have.
Absolutely.
And if you're going to be a part of our life, you have to understand this is what we're working towards.
Right.
And I think that's so, so, so important. But I got to ask you this question because I've never asked this question before. I never asked myself and said, man, I've been on so many nationally known stuff, you know, and recently you've had an opportunity to be in Forbes and on news outlets, and now people look at you as this public figure, as this celebrity, as this, you know, expert. How does that pressure make you feel? I'm curious. Does it make you feel like, do you like it? Do you not like it? How do you handle that?
I think it's something you definitely have to grow used to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I worked in Silicon Valley, so I'm used to eyes being on me and knowing that if I do something,
absolutely,
the world is gonna know about it because I'm the only Black female engineer. And so I'm used to me kind of being under somewhat of a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
But then I think it's different when you're doing it for a company versus when you're doing it in a way that impacts the community.
Yeah.
Because it feels a little bit more personal.
Yeah.
And you're like, if I give these people this wrong information about how to negotiate salary or how to improve their credit, they're going to look at me
absolutely
and, you know, assume that I have misled them. So I feel like I have to be extra careful about what I say. I have to make sure I give disclaimers, and I have to make sure that I'm really, really explaining, you know, what things, you know, how things work.
Yeah.
And so it's a great feeling when somebody comes back to me and says, Jazzy, I used your resume templates and now I got this 6-figure job. Or now I got a job at Google. Like just all these different places. That's a great feeling.
Yes.
But I gotta also be willing to accept that somebody says, hey, I'm still struggling.
Yeah.
I took your advice, I did the things, I'm still struggling. And sometimes you have to know when to like kind of cut it off and not bring it to bed with you.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably the biggest struggle, like trying to cater to everybody all the time and trying to answer comments and just, you know, just not ever taking a break to just turn work off or to turn the business off.
Are you still working on that now?
Yeah, like I work through it with my therapist.
Okay.
Like we do therapy as more of a maintenance thing to try to stay accountable and just to, you know, stay on track, because sometimes you just become wrapped up and you don't know that you're losing sleep and you don't know that you're walking around here like depressed and stuff until you talk to somebody. So yeah, my therapist has recommended, you know, just being able to turn things off and just have a designated time where you do certain things.
That's so good. You know, I think a lot of people see the views, the subscribers, they hear about the income, but we as, you know, impact creators, I hate the term influencers, but I think we as impact creators, we don't really talk about the stuff that comes with it.
Yeah.
Reading those negative comments.
Oh, yeah.
Getting those negative DMs, getting those negative emails.
Yeah.
You know, and that is something that I think we should talk about more, because we record 1 week out the whole month. So like we'll record almost 10 shows in 1 week. And so the weekend before, I used to notice that my body emotionally was just dead.
Yeah, it was shut down.
Right? And my team like, yo, does he have an attitude? Is he mad? Like, what's
right.
And it wasn't I was mad. I was just physically and emotionally tired.
Yeah.
And my therapist said something to me one day. She said, Anthony, the weekend before you go into recording, you need to do nothing.
Yeah.
She said, lay on your couch, be lazy, and just watch TV, sleep. Don't read. She's like, just get your mind, spirit, and body ready for this part that's coming.
Yeah.
And then she was like, every video that you drop, you need to pay somebody else to read your comments. And then you need to train them how to respond. And then 2, what do you need to know about?
Yeah.
So that person for me now is Michelle. Just earlier today, Alex and I forwarded them an email from my email account, because I like hearing from my audience.
Yeah.
And so I saw this long email. Well, my therapist taught me when you see something past a paragraph, it's 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be good or it's not going to be something that you need to know.
Right.
So I sent it to my team. I came in here today. It was like, do you want me to read you this email? I said, do I need to know about it? It was like, nope. I was like, I don't want to know.
Right.
Because I'm protecting my spirit.
You have to.
To continue being the impactful creator that I am. And then, of course, there are some things and some fires I just got to put out.
Yeah.
But I think and I hope y'all listening, like even Jazzy had to be like, hey, I got to protect myself. I got to turn things off. And you, more importantly, because you got a family.
Absolutely.
You got a husband. You got a son that's depending on you being healthy.
Yes.
And sometimes a lot of people think, well, if I'm making more money, I'm going to be healthy.
No, it doesn't always work out that way.
No. Because more money, I mean, Biggie said it. More money, more problems. Right?
That's real.
And I think that with more money comes more issues you got to put out.
Yeah.
What I love, though, is I'm kingdom driven. And I'm saying more money, just less problems because I'm going about it the kingdom way. Mm-hmm. And I think that what you're doing, Jazzy, is needed. And as we're coming to an end, because we're already over, when we go to your YouTube channel, what are we getting from Jazzy?
You're getting financial empowerment.
Let's go.
You're getting an understanding of how to increase your net worth.
Let's go.
Okay, you're going to learn how to negotiate salary.
Let's go.
You're going to learn how to articulate your value in a job interview.
Come on.
Okay, you're going to learn what to do if a creditor has illegally placed something on your credit and now you can't buy a house. You're going to learn how to do those things, how to rectify those situations.
Do you teach us how to legally and ethically remove inquiries?
Absolutely. I've done it.
She was looking at me like, boy, what? That's
Those
easy.
are easy. They are easy. If something has been legally placed, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yo.
It's easy.
Okay, man. I'm late for a meeting. Yo, I enjoy you, Jazzy. I really do enjoy you. I'm pumped about what you're doing. And thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to drop Jazzy's information in the show description below, her YouTube channel, access to her resume stuff, and also we're going to drop the live webinar we're hosting to teach you how to become someone like Jazzy, how to build a personal brand. So check it out, you guys. We love you. We'll see you on the next show. Peace out.